Great morning, you all. How are you all doing? This is your girl Shan. I hope you all are having an amazing start to your day thus far. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the church announcements. Tonight on our radio show, Marriage Mondays with the Kings, we will be speaking about Don't Let Success Go to Your Head. Yes, that is the topic that we were supposed to be speaking on last week. You know, life happens. So we're going to be talking about it tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on KRGN 98.5 FM, The Rock. Happy Father's Day, belated Father's Day to all of the amazing fathers out there. I hope and pray that you all enjoyed your day on yesterday. I know my king enjoyed his day. Loved it. So happy Father's Day. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get into the topic this morning real quick. I'll make it quick and brief. It's just something that's been on my mind. And I know some of you all are thinking, is this chick? Because somebody asked me this the last time I did this. For some reason this morning I got up. I just wanted to go live in my closet. so yes, I am sitting in my closet talking to you all. You know, I know my happy place is usually outside, outside living area, whatever. But I was like, you know what? I just want to speak to you all in my closet. I don't know why. However, anywho, what I'm going to be talking about is like we really need to grow up. We really need to grow up. You know, I don't know who this is for. If this is your first time listening to me, please don't get offended. That is not my intent at all. It just amazes me, and I'm going to get right into it, how it is that we call ourselves adults, but it's just so many things that we do that are childish. We know the scripture. Y'all heard your girl talk about it many of the times and say, you know, when I was a child, I spoke as a child, thought as a child. You did all the things as a child. But see, when we become adults, we need to really put away childish things. So I was having a conversation with our awesome family this weekend. My husband's best friend, you know, they've been friends for 33 plus years, came down, and I love when we have deep conversation. I love when I get together with friends and family and we have deep dialogue conversation. And we were talking about how when you are a child and something happened to you, sometimes your mindset gets stuck in that of a child, even though you walk around with the body of an adult. So that made me think about marriage. That made me think about relationships, right? And the thing is, I'm 43 years old. There is no reason why any individual, whether it be man or woman, should be looking to get into a relationship. Let me holler at my singles real quick. Looking to get into a relationship with an individual with the intent of using them. Okay? No knock to the 20-year-olds. Those coming straight out of high school. That's some high school stuff right there. It's actually something that shouldn't be done altogether. And that's the thing that I was thinking about. Why are there so many adults who call themselves adults, but still walk around like little children, still throw temper tantrums like little children, still act like little children, but yet and still we want to do adult things and we want to come into this thing called marriage. Marriage is not for the weak. I'm here to tell you that right now. Even though people may think that me and my husband have the perfect marriage and marriage goals and all these hashtags that was used and different things like that, it took us work to get here. You know what I'm saying? I thank God because I see the growth in our marriage. When we first started off, I told you how I was. I told you how he was. He told you how he was. However, when you are at my age, 40 plus, why are people still playing games when it comes to marriage? I would think that the maturity level of the mind would be, you know what? We've been in this thing for a minute. Even if you just got married, your individual self, the mentality should be maturity is what I'm thinking. Especially when you're talking about being in a serious relationship with someone, asking someone to marry you, and being in marriage. Even if you've been in marriage for a while, why are we walking around like little kids? Why are we still playing games like little kids? Why are we still having temper tantrums like little kids? And why, even if we're individuals and we're not talking about marriage and relationship, why are we still being messy? Okay, little kids, I can't even put that on little kids. Little kids ain't even that messy. So where does that come from? That is not of God, and I just don't understand. And so what bothers me, and I think the reason why I'm speaking so passionately about this on today, what bothers me is when individuals say that marriage don't work. Oh, marriage don't work. And then you projecting your hurt and your negatives and whatever because you had so and so in your ear talking about, oh, all this generational foolishness that's being passed down from year to year. And it's not that marriage don't work. Marriage is ordained. Marriage was created by the creator. So how are we gonna sit up here and say that something that God created don't work? Now, what would sound better is, you know what? I tried that thing called marriage. If you gonna give somebody, I tried that thing called marriage and it didn't work for me. Make it more individual. But what we tend to do is say marriage don't work. No, marriage is not gonna work if you still walking around like a little child throwing a temper tantrum when you can't get your way. When you're sitting up here as a husband or a wife and you're spewing negatives against your husband or your wife, but yet and still you say marriage don't work. No, baby, it's not that marriage don't work. It's just the husbands and wives, some of them just don't work the marriage. Or marriage work for some. No, marriage could work for all if you had a good intent going into the marriage in the first place. Like I've said before, a lot of individuals didn't have a good intent going into the marriage. No, you let me just call a spade a spade. There have been plenty of women, and now I'm seeing men, which I don't understand that part, and I'll come back to that. But there has been plenty of women that your whole intent when you said I do is for that dude to take care of you. That's just what it is. And it didn't work. And whatever the case may be. And now you're going around because you're bitter and you saying marriage didn't work. So your whole intent going into the marriage was using that man and what it is that that man could do for you. Let's just be honest. Men, let me go ahead because you know it's equal opportunity up in here. Marriage may not be working for you because the only reason why you married her is because you didn't want somebody else to have her, or you thought, you know what, let me go ahead and lock her down so the only person she'll be sleeping with is me. Let's just keep it real on this morning. See, God doesn't honor foolishness. You know what I'm saying? God does not. Do you hear me? Honor foolishness. So how can an individual say marriage doesn't work? Now, you may have been that individual that went into the marriage with all the great intentions of being the best wife or a husband or whatever the case may be. And it didn't work out because maybe the individual that you said I do to came into the marriage with all the wrong intentions. I know when I said I do to my husband, many of y'all know, many of y'all done read the book, whatever the case may be. Listen, we got to put it all on the table. I'm not with you for your money. I'm not with you for your rank. I've been holding down me and my child. Come on, single parents, where are you? Single mothers, single fathers. I've been holding down my child before I met you. So I'm not marrying you. So all of a sudden I have a father for my child because some women do that. Come on, somebody. I know I'm not the only one that has heard of this and have heard women say this out of their mouth. But yet and still, when it comes to individuals who are single, then you have other individuals. Well, when you gonna get married? You know your clock is. Let me tell y'all something, singles. If God is not placing on your heart to get married, don't just jump into a marriage because you tired of every time you get to the family gathering, family reunion, Thanksgiving, Christmas, you always got this aunt that's pressuring you talking about when you gonna get married. And girl, you know you getting old. You almost 40. You don't even have any babies. Quit letting people pressure you because everything that we do, everything that is done, regardless of how hard we try to push it, is all in God's timing. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I'm going to say. Aunties, uncles, and all these older people, women at the church, because it's always them. Can y'all please be quiet? Can you please quit pressuring individuals? You see what I'm saying? Because everything is in God's timing. And I'm here to tell you, when we do things that are out of the will of God, it is not going to work. I don't care how hard you try to try. Well, it worked, but it didn't last long. I'm telling you, because even the devil can make things look good and present it to you on a silver platter as if it was God. Okay. So that's why we have to be mindful. But marriage isn't easy. I'm not going, but at the same token, I have some good friends, good female friends. My husband got some good homeboys, whatever the case may be, that in my mind, oh my God, they will be good marriage material. You see what I'm saying? They know how to cook, got a good head on their shoulder, business sense, business mind about themselves, goals, whatever the case may be. Know how to, baby, if it's a function coming up, they know how to present themselves as a come on, all that. But the thing is, at the end of the day, it's all in God's timing. And if our minds, bodies, and souls are not at a place, if we're not at a place within ourselves to where we're mature enough to take that responsibility, because taking on that is a responsibility. It's not just some Disney fairy tale that we seen because we was growing up watching Disney movies and our Prince Charming is coming. But somebody lied to you. You see what I'm saying? We have to be in a place of maturity. I don't know how many times I can say this. So if you are single, get to know you. You know what I'm saying? Get to really know you. Get to know who you are, what you like, what you don't like. Stop allowing people to pressure you into get married. When you gonna marry? Oh, girl, you got that divorce 5 years ago. When you gonna get married again? Or, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? What you waiting on? Listen, everything is in God's time. And I would say do a Matthew 6:33 and seek ye first. Seek God. All right? So that's one thing I would say to the singles. For those of you who are engaged, ask yourself, don't be talking about your spouse, asking this question of your spouse. Ask yourself, are you mature enough to be able to take on this commitment? Because marriage is a commitment. And as many of you see, there are so many in the world that they're not happy, they're bitter, broken, whatever the case may be. And they are going to be comfortable. Well, that couldn't be me, placing seeds of doubt, allowing Satan to use them. Like I've always said, I respect individuals. If you were married, you went through a divorce, I respect it if you come out your mouth to me where I said, well, what happened? You seem like a good person, this, that, and the other. If the first thing out your mouth, well, he did this, he did that, I don't even want to talk to you. I'm just going to be real. But if you say, you know what? Using I statements, I came into the marriage with the intention of blah, blah, blah. But unfortunately, infidelity happened. Or unfortunately, I thought or I believed that this is a good individual, but verbal abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, assault, those type of things took place. That was what I experienced. But see, we don't do that. We make it a whole thing. Oh, marriage somewhere, and then you just putting doubt in. But like I said, marriage is not easy. So for those of you who are currently married and in your ups and downs, ask yourself, why did I get married in the first place? And what was my intention behind it? You see what I'm saying? Because there may be, and this is not, depending on maturity level, because me and my husband had to grow to some things in our marriage. Coming up on 23 years, we had to grow into and through some things. You know what I'm saying? And so with that takes work. It takes time. It takes communication. It takes effective communication. It takes listening with the intent to gain an understanding, not just to be able to respond and argue. But I'm telling you, if you married right now, you 40 and up, come on, man. You sitting up here arguing like you're a little teenager and all this other kind of stuff. If you always point a finger at your spouse and you spewing that it's them, and in reality, they're not as bad as you making them seem, then ask yourself, is that the little child in you? Is it something within yourself? Because what I've learned, and I learned this here recently, probably when I turned 40, is I am responsible for my happiness. Yes, I've been married to my husband for a while, but when I came into the marriage, my immature mind that didn't know any better felt that it was his responsibility to make me happy. You are supposed to, because I'm trying to do all these things, but as I learned, as I grew within myself and got to know who I am and who God created me to be and things like that, I learned that I am responsible for my happiness. Anything that Mr. King do beyond that is icing on the cake. You see what I'm saying? And I had to learn to mature within myself. I had to learn to stop being ignorant. And, when he say something, whatever, and, I'm cussing him out and all this kind of stuff like that. Me and him going back and forth like some Bloods and Crips, some gang members. No, marriage take responsibility. So if you in your 40s, you've been married over I'm going to say 15, 20 years or whatever the case may be, because in the early years, you're still becoming one. You don't just go down to the altar, I do, and then all of a sudden y'all are one. You are still working to figure out what that two becoming one is. And that doesn't mean that both of y'all still remain and act like you single and you go do you, I go do me, and then we come back together. No, that's not what I'm saying. It may take a while to understand what it means to actually walk as one. It takes a while. It takes some prayers. It may take some tears. It may take some arguments. It takes conversations with wise individuals who only want to see the best for you and your spouse. Surrounding yourself with people who only want to see the best for you and your spouse. It takes a lot to walk as one. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that all is going to be perfect. We have to stop operating as little children. We call ourselves adults. I'm going to say something that is non-marriage, if you will. When people come to me and they start off trying to tell me about some girl and this person, I don't even want to hear it. I remove myself. I don't even want to hear it. And I don't know if that's after I went through counseling program or what. And maybe it's the fact that, helping people work through their issues and, their stuck places and things like that. There's counseling. I don't know word, but it's like, because usually when somebody tell me, ooh, girl, I got the tea, I was right there to receive all the hot tea. But now I'll be like, man, I don't even want to know. I ain't even got the energy to sit there and listen to it. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people like to move and operate as little kids in messiness. Ask yourself, are you allowing yourself to participate in that? Because one of the things that I've learned, and me and my husband told y'all, we used to argue about other people's problems. It didn't even have nothing to do. So yeah, baby, so-and-so, I'm telling them something or he telling me something and, it was wrong the way he did her or blah, 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 blah. And then I just set up here and popped up and say, oh, so you agree with what he did, huh? And then next thing you know, me and him arguing. And then 2 or 3 days later, we sit up thinking about like, why we arguing over that stuff? That didn't have nothing to do. So sometimes you got to shut it out. I don't even want to hear it. Like, I don't even want to hear it. I don't even listen. Now, if you come to me and say, so-and-so going through this and this and this, day in the hospital, pray for him, boom, got it. I don't need to know what's going on. Did they have a heart attack? I don't even know. They need prayer. Okay, I'll add them to the prayer list. Boom. And sometimes when it comes to our marriages, because how somebody may do their spouse or something outside of your marriage ain't got nothing to do with you, it finds its way in just because we listening to somebody who gossiping or giving us the latest tea about somebody's foolishness. We really need to learn how to grow up. You 40 plus, baby, you should be walking in peace. You heard me? Not drama. You still walking in drama? It's something that's wrong on the inside of you. It's something. If you always feel you got to be telling somebody business and all they going through, it's something that's wrong in the inside of you. That means that's that little kid. You operating as a little kid. You didn't put away childish things. You still carrying childish things. And that stuff messes up a marriage, okay? Stay out of everybody's business. Just mind your own business. What I've learned to do in the 2021, I'm telling you, since this pandemic started, y'all heard me say it before, some of y'all, is I mind the business of what's going on in the King's household. You hear me? Was checking in with my children, checking in with my husband, getting a little time to myself, sitting out of my happy place, in the outdoor living area, staring at the trees, reading a book, going for a 4-mile walk, whatever the case may be. I cannot control anything that goes on outside of the King's household. I can't control what them politicians do. I can't control what the pastor do down at the church. I can't control none of that. You know what I'm saying? But what I can control is what goes on inside my mind, my mental, what goes on as far as my physical, what I put in my mouth, my weight. I can control all that kind of stuff. What goes on inside my house. And that's just how God designed for it to be, to take care of our Jerusalems. So we need to grow up. Get out of everybody else's business and what this person said, that person done. Do you want the tea and all that? No, I don't want it. Keep it. I don't care if it tastes as good as Bush's tea. Some of y'all know about that Bush's tea down here in the state of Texas, baby. It be banging. I don't care if it tastes as good and diabetical as Bush's tea. I don't even want to hear it. You hear me? Just to be, hey, this person need prayer. Okay, got it. Because sometimes we take on unnecessary stuff and just like a kid, we running with it. Join us tonight. So I just want to drop that this morning. Seriously. as it was on my heart. Join us tonight, Marriage Mondays with the King, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on KRG and 98.5 FM The Rock, where we're going to be talking about don't allow success to go to your head. Why is it that individuals put more effort into being more successful at things outside of their marriage than being successful at their marriage? That's what we're going to be talking about tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you're not in the local listening area, no worries. Go to our website at marriagemondayswiththekings.com. Click on the Listen Here tab. You'll be able to listen. It's another church announcement. I will let you all know we tired. The Kings is tired. We've been doing radio for about 4.5 years. That doesn't mean we're quitting. But we will be taking off the month of July. So you will be hearing me saying that. I'm saying it this week. You'll hear me say it next week. The month of July, we will be taking off. And I'll probably be taking off Marriage Mornings with the Queen as well. Because sometimes you just got to get away. That's what Jesus did. He got away. He went before God. He refreshed. We're going to do all those things. So that away starting August 1st, starting, the fall, we'll be able to go with what thus says the Lord, okay? We will not burn ourselves out, and we encourage you all to don't allow that to happen to y'all as well. So the whole month of July, we will be off. We'll be playing reruns or repeat shows or whatever the case may be. And then I won't be on for Marriage Mornings with the Queen. We're just going to relax because we need to relax. We've been doing this radio for 4.5 years. I've been doing lives for probably about 7.5 years. So just want to give y'all a heads up. Thank y'all so much always for y'all support. Have a blessed and amazing week. And your girl Shan will be back with you next week for whatever it is God placed on my heart. So God bless you and blessings to you.